My name is Daniel Lynch. I am the Deputy County Executive, and I'm here today to talk about a very important issue on behalf of County Executive McCoy. Last week, you are aware that the County Executive unveiled his 2021 executive budget and mentioned during that release him wanting to advocate and continue his lobbying efforts in Washington, D.C. this week to continue the fight for stimulus relief for state and local governments and the flexibility that should come with any relief package that is agreed upon in D.C. And that's where the county executive is today. So we're here today to talk about voting. And there are many American citizens that have already taken advantage of early voting through the mail. My understanding is as of last night, there were 28 million Americans that have done so. But there's also a number of individuals that want and prefer to vote in person. One study that we were able to discover showed that 70% of individuals prefer to vote in person and should be able to do so in a safe environment. And that's what we're here to talk about today. In Albany County, we have early voting starting this coming Saturday, October 24th. It will run through the following Sunday, November 1st. There'll be 6 locations here in Albany County. Our locations and times of the open voting or early voting will be provided and is provided on our county website. And believe it or not, Election Day is 2 weeks from today. So for those of you that are still uncomfortable about going to the polls, you still have the ability to request an absentee ballot that is available through October 27th. But we need to ensure people are able to vote safely, and that's what we're here this morning to discuss. That means making sure that our Board of Election employees, our poll workers and volunteers are protected from the infection as well. So the use of face shields together with face masks and face coverings just provide another layer of protection to stop the spread of the virus. So here in Albany, we'd like to thank a Albany business for a generous donation that we received of 1,500 face shields to Albany County for this purpose to ensure safety in the polling in this upcoming elections from a company, Boakland Custom Visuals, who's been a part of Albany County for the last 6 decades. They're one of the local businesses that have reinvented themselves and started producing personal protective equipment to combat and to assist in the virus. They've recently expanded into a new location, but I'll let them talk about that in the upcoming moments. And since the outbreak began here in Albany County in March, we have said that we are all in this together in continuing to respond to COVID-19. And we couldn't be more proud of the way that our business community as a whole has stepped up to the plate and supported our efforts in doing so. And today we have from Boakland Custom Visuals Brian Corbett. He's the company's Vice President and Managing Director, and I want to personally thank you, Brian, and your team for the generous donations of the face shields. So you have an opportunity to say a few words if you would like.
Yeah, thank you, Dan, and the whole Albany County team, not just for having us here today, but also for all the diligence and hard work you've done. I think you've made the residents and businesses of the county much more informed and safer for your work. As much as today is a story about public health, it's also a story of economic growth. And at Boakland Custom Visuals, we're celebrating our 64th year in business this year, the last 35 of which have been in Albany County. So we first started at 122 Industrial Park Road in Albany, right across from CDTA, and sold the building right at the beginning of COVID, and have since moved into 42 Carner Road in Colony. And we were able to expand our production capabilities and things like that. So we're really one of the leading premier large format printing companies in the Northeast. We can print on boards up to 5 by 10, cut the shapes out, provide signs for a multitude of different customers depending on what their business is. We're family owned and operated. And we've been very fortunate as COVID has progressed, number one, to be considered an essential business. And we were able to do some work for the governor's office and things like that over the course of the last many years. But number one, in providing some signs for mobile testing units and things like that. But we were also able to pivot our business towards producing PPE and different products for protecting people during the pandemic, trying to aim for hospitals and healthcare and things like that to begin with. And since that, we've actually done a lot of acrylic barriers for Department of Motor Vehicles throughout the state, helping them to reopen their offices, as well as different barrier projects for other businesses as they've tried to open through the pandemic to help them keep their customers and their employees safe. So we're actually even now offering compliant signage for ADA and that type of thing as well. And those are all things that we've done since the pandemic started. So as I said, some notable customers of ours are Department of Motor Vehicles, New York State OGS and the Governor's Office, Rivers Casino, who we did a barrier project for, and currently the Bone and Joint Center here in Albany and in Clifton Park, where we're actually putting barriers and things like that in place to help keep them going. So as part of our COVID production pivot, we began manufacturing face shields to aid the initial response, as I said, to the PPE shortage. That capability enabled us to proudly donate the 1,500 shields to Albany County Election Board and to be able to help with this also important election that's coming up. And in closing, we're happy to be with you today and happy to be a part of the economic activity in Albany County and really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian. We're happy you're here as well. This morning we also have Albany County Legislator and Deputy Majority Leader Lynn Lakakis. Lynn, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I'd just like to say first thank you to all the Albany County employees, but especially the Board of Elections. I think when we think of essential workers, first we think of healthcare people, grocery store, trucking, but we don't just jump to the Board of Elections, but they've been there right along since the beginning of COVID, trying to keep us protected and doing all the important things that they've had to do to keep us registered and able to vote. So they have been working on knocking down the barriers that stop you from voting, making more places available to vote, making the IT work better to make it easier when you go in to vote, keeping open at different hours. And so, some barriers are good to knock down, but some barriers are very important to have. And we can't thank Bulkland enough for providing these so that we can ensure that everybody, both the workers and the citizens who are voting, are safe. So thank you very much, and we appreciate you.
Thank you, Lynn. And this is just another example of a great partnership with the county and Bulkland. Thank you so much for your support and your generosity, and it's a great use and another layer of protection that our staff will be able to use, and certainly our volunteer as well. So 2 weeks away, this is a very important election. Everyone's voice should be heard. Get out and vote. It's very important that you do so, and we just want to make sure that everyone is provided the environment in which they feel safe to do.